All right, that looks good. Oh, zips. Hello. I forgot to zip. Hi, Joy. Welcome. All right, I think I'm ready to do at least one. I haven't interfaced the other bags I'm going to do. I thought I'd come do a video for you guys first, and then I'll go back and do the rest. And I've left half my stuff over here. I've actually done a lot of videos today. I'm on a little bit of a roll. And if you hear any like loud bangs, I apologize. I live on an army base and they're playing with the tanks today. So they keep firing the tanks. So you might hear a loud bang. That's all that is. So I'm going to start with my zipper pocket today just because I like to start there. Hello, grandson took over the naming of this account. Oh, that's all right. I read that and missed the name of it. So if I don't reply to your message, I'm really sorry. It pops up temporarily and then disappears again. So I can only see what I can see, really. It only stays up for about 5 seconds, the comments. And I'm not smart enough. Hello from Maryland. Hello, Tiffany. I need to get like a screen that I can project this onto so that I can read your comments easier, but it's not a today problem. Has anybody gone and attempted to make some templates yet? My husband's only made half of the templates for this particular bag, or like one piece. So the rest I've had to do by paper, which was not ideal, but I didn't want to laminate them because I felt that was a bit of a waste of time, really. I'll turn the machine off as I go so it's not constantly whirring in the background too. Did everybody see the thread I got today? I did a video because I'm so excited. I love those colors. Where are my scissors? I think I should have been more prepared for this. Hold on a second. Here we go. That's right. I will try and do as many lives as I can, guys. And then I can answer questions and you can see everything in real time. It's just, I only get 3 days a week to actually do the videos, which is Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. So, but then again, sometimes like life gets in the way. So I will try to do at least 3 videos every single week. And I will attempt to do a live. The problem with live is it has to be something that I've kind of already done. But I am, so next week, I will be doing for you the Lynette business bag, because I get asked about that like every couple of days. So the Lynette business bag is the next one I'm going to do, because I'm going to make myself one with embroidery on it, and it's going to be amazing. I also want to do the Demi Wallet by Lynn's Handmade. I think that's who makes it. So that'll be next week as well, because I do actually need to make some for this order that I'm currently doing. So lots of new ones next week, I promise. I've got about 18 bags that are orders, and I've only done 4. So this is 5. So once these are all done, I will get onto all the cool new ones. Yeah, there we go. I do love Brooklyn. Does anybody made Brooklyn before? I quite enjoy this pattern. They're a bit small for me to carry around all the time, but I do love them if I make them to match outfits. It's currently very, very cold here. I'm only in this top because I put the heater on to 23 degrees Celsius. It's like 12 degrees outside. It's far too cold, which is why I made the scarf. Funnily enough, the tutorial was a practical one. I'm also going to start doing... Hello, Carla. I'm also going to start doing some more clothing tutorials, mainly because I have to make myself some more clothes, so I might as well video it while I'm doing it. The top I wore in yesterday's video, the blue one, I love that top, and I have actually cut out another one to do. So that will be probably not next week, but I will get to it pretty soon because I do need the top. I don't know why I keep turning the machine off. It's habit when I'm videoing. See, did you hear that? That was the tank. It shakes our whole house because I imagine it's not all that far away, to be honest. Alright, zipper pocket, done. Put the lining aside. I used my heat press today. because I've got to make so many of these, I put all the foam on with the heat press because it's just amazing. It took like 8 seconds. So anyone that has a heat press, I highly recommend you use it for foam fusing. Okay. I got this really cool vinyl today, actually. It's actually a really old vinyl. I've had it for ages, but I really like it. It's got... I don't even know what animal it's trying to be, but it's like this gold and brown. That's okay, Rebecca. Oh, I understand. 1 a.m. is pretty late. Don't feel bad if you guys can't come and watch. Like, I don't mind. I do them because you guys enjoy them. So, if you can't stay, that's fine. I won't delete it when we finish, so you can always come back and watch it. But if you're after, like, a super in-depth tutorial, I have done one on this bag anyway. I think this is going to slip. So, I'm going with double-sided tape. You think it's crocodile. Thank you. There you go. Gator print. I don't know. They had it at Spotlight. And I was like, that's cool. I'll buy some. And this is pretty much the last of it now. But I just thought it went really well with this colour. Because I didn't want to do a gold or a black with this. I already did a gold yesterday. I'm trying to switch it up a little bit. It's actually got, like, fluffy on the back. Just watch the thread video. Yeah, nice. Well, I decided to buy the thread in bulk because then I'm going to ultimately pay less in postage. If I'm only buying 2 each time, that's a lot of postage. So I saved up and I bought a lot. And now I pretty much have all the colours I need except red, but my website I get it from is out of red. So they're going to call me when they get some in, which is cool. And I had a question. Somebody asked me why I use nylon and not polyester. So I actually rang the guy that runs the thread place, and we spoke for nearly an hour. And basically the nylon's got a little bit more give in it than the polyester. The polyester's super firm, whereas the nylon's just got a little bit of stretch. So he suggested that that would be better for the bags, and they're all UV coated and rated and stuff, which is good because I have horses and have to fix their horse stuff all the time. So it's going to double for that reason. This is a weird vinyl. It's fluffy on the back. It's like, it's not even felt. It's almost like a fleece. I don't know. Definitely weird. Hopefully it'll sell alright. I haven't sobered it in a while. Excellent. Always backstitch. I actually say that to myself in my head even when I'm not on camera. Always backstitch. If you're ever worried or concerned that this is going to stretch as you sew it, just push it down with your fingers. I'm just walking my fingers over it in front of it to make sure that it's not going to pull and stretch and carry on like a pork chop. Especially with vinyl I haven't worked with either ever or in a long time. I just don't remember. Just make sure you don't get your finger when you're doing that too, by the way. So my tutorial I'm going to do with a domestic sewing machine. I think I'm just going to have to use my embroidery machine and convert it back to a sewing machine. So it's probably still going to look very fancy. I use bonded nylon. Yeah, cool. We had like a proper discussion about every thread that the dude has on the website. It was quite enlightening, actually. I've got so many pieces going on. Alright, I'm going to skip to all my small pieces because they're annoying me. So once I get them done, I can stick them aside. Funnily enough, the table that you're sitting on is usually where I put all the pieces. So now they have to just sit on the sewing table. So these are going to be my... Why do people burn the ends of the bonded nylon thread? Because if you burn it, it goes all the way to the bag and doesn't stick out at all. So I burn it just so it's not sticking out. Because sometimes, like with my snips, you can only get so close. So I burn it a little bit and then it goes all the way to the bag. And it's never too hot that you can't touch it. So I burn it and then touch it and it pushes it flush with like the actual bag. That's why I burn it. I don't burn it on everything ever, just like top stitching and things that are going to stick out on the bag is usually why I burn it. And then I had a double-sided tape again. Oh my goodness. That's okay. You don't have to burn it. If you can cut it really close, do that. I can't, so I burn it. I did try and order myself new snips, and every shop I go to has sold out. So my supplier sold out, and then I went to the local quilting shop, and they've sold out, and I'm just like, oh. So I'm currently stuck with blunt snips, which is not ideal. Alright, so it melts the end so it stops stitches from coming out. There we go. Like on this, I won't melt these ends because this is all going to be stitched into the bag and you won't see them. I like to stick my hardware on these as I go, or I forget to install them. I have done it twice to this bag, and I've only made like 8. I keep forgetting to put these bits in, so I'm actually going to attach it now to the base, and then I can't forget. I also, before this video, I also pre-clipped this before I put the base on as well. Because I found it easy. It's easy to bend without the interfacing, stabilizer stuff. So I now cut them before I get to the video. What else have we got? I'm really hoping I have another roll of double-sided tape hiding in my cupboard. If not, I'm going into town after this video, I guess. Now with the side connectors, the pattern actually suggests that you stitch it to the bag. Hello, Stormy Jack. I won't be stitching these to the bag. I will be riveting them on because I think it looks neater. And even though this is an industrial machine, it is still technically domestic, so it struggles with that many layers. And then the stitches either skip or look dodgy. So I will be stitching these individually, and then I'll rivet them with probably 3 rivets at the end. The result's still the same. It still holds. I just think it looks a lot neater. And that's just my personal opinion. If I was on this machine here, I could probably sew it. But again, I wouldn't want it to potentially be messy. So I probably still wouldn't do it. What I was doing yesterday is sewing most of my... I was doing the Bonnie buckets. Which, no, you can't see. They're on the top of this here shelf. So I was actually sewing the base on the cylinder machine because it allows the drop down, and then I sewed the rest on the flatbed. So I do actually switch between machines. Alright. Lots of sticky tape. I'm going to stitch and stick these one at a time so that the sticky stuff doesn't come undone. And I'm pivoting, so I always make sure my needle's down too. When I get back to the start, you can either trim these out, or if you hold them, they don't get tangled up, which makes for a neater finish. See, so I'm clipping that as close as I can, which I thought was pretty close, but if you have a look, I don't think it's going to show you. Hold on. If you have a look, see how it's still got sticky uppy bits? You probably can't really see it. It won't focus on it. But there's still little bits that stick out, even though I trimmed as close as I can. So I still just melt them. All of them. And if you do it in the blue part of your lighter and not the yellow part, it won't singe it. So if you're working with a white thread, when you light your lighter, you put it as close to the base as you can, and it won't turn it black. Which I thought was pretty cool. So much sticky tape. Doesn't help that I'm using my snips to cut this. It's probably making them more and more blunt every time I do it. But such is life. And with the end connectors, I always fold the sides first and the top last. I don't know why, but I like the way it looks better than if I fold the top first, because it does change it slightly. The join's in a different spot. Thank you, you'll try. Hello! I can't read that from here. Denise. Hello, Denise. So apart from the Lynette, which I know is everyone's priority one at the moment, is there any other bags that you're like desperate to see a video for? Because for the most part, I am happy to do videos. Like, I've got my board. I've actually organized my board into designer brands now. A backpack. Which backpack? There's several backpacks. I think on my board, there's still a few. I did the Dario backpack, although I should probably redo that video where it's not rocking like a boat. So I will do that. Or I've done the Denver. I've done the Denver Mini. So I could do a Denver Large, which is essentially the same thing, just bigger. I've got the Atlas rucksack. The Denver. I can do the Denver again. I do need to make some more, actually. So yeah, I have done Denver Mini and the Dario with the cool double zipper front pocket, which I absolutely love. Actually, and I can do that one again. Love the way you teach and show. Oh, thank you. I do actually need to make another Dario, and I'm going to hack it. So my stepsister is pregnant, which is super exciting, and she's got a 2-year-old. And so they want to have matching mummy-daughter backpacks that clip together. So I'm going to hack the Dario, and then, so I'm going to do one at that size and then shrink one. And I'm going to add quick release connectors so that you can attach the backpacks together. Because in my head, it's amazing. I also just put on way too much sticky tape because I was too busy talking. So I only needed to put it on half of these, but, you know, whatever. I'll just go buy some more. It's fine. So my husband, Indiana, scheduled to come to Australia. Ooh, that'll be fun. Do you know if I go overseas, I've got to deal with my husband. I will go visit anywhere he wants to go. I don't mind. I'm not a big traveler, but I will go anywhere so long as I can buy a crap ton of fabric. So he wants to go to Hawaii and Japan. So I'm like, okay, but I'm just buying fabric. That's all I want from everywhere. Because I'm a fabric hoarder, a little bit. Okay. Now, 1 second. I just got to grab my template. So my husband's getting super fancy for me. And now he can cut out holes. So this is to center a design. And then these two little ones are these strap connector placements. Because he is amazing. You know what? I don't think I've cut enough of these. Whoops. Crossbody by the Unisex. All right, I can look into that pattern. I don't currently have it. Bag stock patterns, the only two I've got at the moment is Anna and the Pelican Tote. Now let's see if this is actually going to work. So I'm just laying this on top. And then, because it's black, I'm going to get my chalk pen. Out of yet another skull. It works. That is awesome. I have no idea how he managed to cut those holes so small, but I am very impressed. I can ask him and let you guys know if you like. I thought he would have drilled it, but the corners are like super sharp, so I don't think he did drill the corners. Because that's how I would have done it if I had to do it myself. Oh. Yeah, I was not prepared. A jigsaw. You know, we have a jigsaw, but how would he get the jigsaw in is my concern. I don't know. Either way, super cool. I need D-rings. I forgot to grab D-rings. Of all the things I forgot, D-rings. I just grabbed a handful and come back. I really need to move my hardware closer, but there is nowhere to put it. A real struggle. I'm trying to have everything accessible from here, but I also can't have them freestanding because the dogs or my child will knock them over. Neither of which is ideal. So I'm going to be pretty lazy about these. And I'm just going to double-sided tape them onto the bag. Rather than try and hold them exactly where I need them to be, tape is just the easier option. So I'm going to stick a strip down the back. I think I was in too much of a hurry to do the live for you guys because I forgot a whole bunch of stuff. Alright, so double-sided tape on the back, and then you can line that up on the bag, and then it'll stay, theoretically. Another way you could do these, so if your machine can't handle this, what you could do is stitch this separately and then put 3 rivets and rivet it to the bag. So if you're on a domestic machine and you don't think it can handle the 2 layers plus the foam plus the interfacing plus the fabric, and then up the top it's like doubled over as well, that's how I would get around that. So I'm going to start at the top. I love the way these look, but the connectors are very fiddly because of all the tight little corners you've got to do. Nope, I don't like that hole. There we go. These could actually look really cool if you stuck like an extra piece and made them super puffy. Because these ones, because they're a little bit puffy because of the weird backing on it, I reckon they'd look super cool. I need to actually make myself a new handbag. It is time. I haven't picked a fabric yet, or a pattern. But I think I'm going to need to make a new one for myself this month. Love it. Still want rivets though. Camera's not clear. I can wipe it for you if you like. That might help. How's that? Is that better? I hope so. We're on my phone, so it's like an S10 Plus. So this is the best camera in our house. I have the new Juki, but I've not used it. Oh no! How'd you lose your Sojo getting a new machine? Are you scared by it? Like, is it daunting and you're like, oh my god? I'd be so excited with a new machine. Although this one, when I got it, I was super excited, and the first time I used it, it ate a project, and that scared me a little bit. I was like, oh. It's because I had the wrong needles and stuff in it, because I didn't know any better when I bought it. It didn't come with instructions. It was secondhand. It was just like, here you go, take it. Alrighty. There's one side done. Yay! Gonna lessen my pieces and stick a zipper in, and then I'll go cut some more on camera because I need more strap connectors. Oh, does yours have like a speed control thing? That's pretty cool. Alright. Oh, you should make a memory quilt. Or a memory bag. Oh, that'd be cool. So you can take photos that you've got of them and you can print it onto stuff that goes in your printer and then like iron it onto fabric and make something beautiful. That's cool. This one over here, my big leather binding crazy machine, it has a speed control, but I don't know how to use it because, again, it didn't come... How did I learn? I actually learned by trial and error. So when I first started bags, I promise I had a whole bunch of just total flops. I didn't think to go on YouTube to look at how to do things. I just tried to follow the exact pattern. So my knowledge is trial and error. So if I see somebody post something online, I will try it before I pass that on to you guys or tell you how I found a way to do it better or whatever. But yeah, no, I love handbags and shoes. That's kind of my thing. And I could never find handbags that I liked in like the colors I liked. So I started making my own, and then all my friends wanted one, and I got into it. But my first few bags were terrible. I'm not gonna lie. I didn't just wake up one day and go, oh my god, I'm an amazing bag sewer. So thread was an original big issue for me because I didn't know what thread I needed. So I used to make all my bags with like overlocking thread, which is obviously not ideal. And I had a domestic machine for ages, so I used to avoid a lot of the vinyl. And before I knew about Teflon feet, I would do things like put powder. So one of the hacks you can do is put like talc powder down and it'll help slide it, except then that gets to your machine, so that's not ideal. The other one was put tissue paper down, which sounds like a cool idea, but then you've got like little tissue paper bits sticking out. You've got to tear it off, pull it all out. It's just, yeah. So, with threading, I actually don't rethread this machine very often. I will chop it here and then tie the news piece on and pull. So you waste about this much thread and you save yourself about 5 minutes. So I think that's a fair deal. I only rethread this if it's having issues. So if it's knotting and carrying on, I will pull all the thread out and go again. Alright. I need to cut more strap connectors. Whoop. Because I'm an idiot and only cut 4, not 8. So that was my bad. I also just use a normal pen too, by the way. I don't use my friction taxes on the vinyl because it's a waste of ink and they're more expensive. I thread the same way. Well, that's good. I cannot do this in less than a minute. There's just one hole here. that's super tricky because it goes down and then I've got to thread it up and under, but it's only like this far off the machine. So that's the one tricky bit. So I just avoid that. I'm pretty okay with that decision. I never pull it through the needle though. So if you're gonna do that, oh, thank you. It's skulls. I love this. It's super cute, and then you open it, it's got skulls on it. Anyway. I had a different headband on because my hair was annoying me, but then the headband was annoying me, so I switched to this. This is the equivalent of I don't want to do my hair today. You ordered cones yesterday, but I got the 30 size. Okay. I really do love my thread. I'm so excited. That teal color is going to be on the Lynette bag. Sorry, you've got to watch me trace things. I was unprepared. I'm ready to shave mine bald. Fair enough. I'm actually trying to grow mine out. So it's at that stage where it sits here and sits on my shoulders and kicks out, and it just annoys me. I either look good with short hair to here or long hair. The in-between's not ideal. And it's dirty and I didn't want to have to wash it today because it's cold. Scissors. All right, let's do this. I'm sorry again for all those that have just tuned in. I'm sorry if I missed your message. It only keeps it up on the screen for like 5 seconds and then it's gone. So I can't see anything. And one day I am going to work it out and get a TV in here and project it onto the television. I like Albert Einstein. I'm sure it's not that bad. So top and tail these so I don't waste as much vinyl. Not that there's much left to begin with, but still. The rest of this, I think, is going to be Heidi's. All right. For the person that keeps telling me I'm not clear and you can't see me properly, unfortunately, I can't do anything about it. This is the best camera I've got. It's the only camera I've got because we tried it on my laptop and that was terrible. Do I sell my purses? I do. I actually have my own website. I used to do markets as well, but markets are shut down at the moment. So I used to do aprons as well, like retro 50 aprons, which I think I'm going to start making again just because they're fun. So I do have my own website. So everything over here is like for sale. Not that I'm trying to sell it to you, but I'm just letting you know, like, that's where it lives over in that area. What thread do I recommend? So it depends on what machine you're sewing on as to what thread I recommend. Anything industrial, I love my new bonded thread that I just got. I'm using bonded nylon. So the best idea is to use bonded nylon or bonded polyester. Choice is yours. I spoke to my thread guy. Turns out I have a thread guy now. It's kind of cool. And he said that the nylon's a little bit more forgiving. So I should use that. So I do. And I love it. And I have had no issues, no breakages, no unraveling. Hello, Bobby. Yeah, so, but this thread isn't designed for a domestic machine. So I probably wouldn't use it in a domestic. And if you were going to put it in a domestic, only put it in the top not the bottom. Oh yeah, this is like micro spots. I don't know. I bought a leftover scrap of vinyl and made a shirt. And I was really lazy, so I just put elastic everywhere. Bonded nylon on domestic. There you go. So you can use bonded nylon. Mine is size M40, but I think the sizes work differently in America, and you guys are on Tex 70, 60. I don't know. I will look that up and find out for you. So if you're on a domestic and you live in Australia, Spotlight has a thick, they call it upholstery thread. There you go, Tex 69. I don't know how the Texas work. In Australia, it's M40, M20, M70. So I'm not sure how Tex works, unfortunately, but I will look into it for you. And I will find the Sunny Sewing Machines website and link it where I put my thread up, just to help you find yours. I did have a quick look for their website earlier, and I don't know what I'm looking up, so I'm going to have to do a little bit of research on that. But my video I did about my thread and my box opening, I will find the American equivalent for you and add it. Okay. Next side. I'm nearly out of chalk in my chalk pen, which is very sad. I'm going to have to order some more. So we're on to the other side. I feel the strap connectors are the longest taking part of this. Do you have your scissors on a magnetic strip? Yes, I do. So I have used, to attach it to this, because this is like a dodgy little wheel around the room box, I actually just used like thick foam double-sided tape, and then got my husband to squish it because he's stronger than me. And so yeah, now I keep all my scissors here because it's just way easier. I used to have them on like a coffee stand that lived in the box. So like a coffee cup holder, which is a great alternative. But yeah, no. So now I've got this. And then on the sides, I've put those, you know, those hooks. I don't know what they're called. But they're basically like stick-on hooks and you can pull the bottom out. So I've done 2 on each side. So this side, it holds my rulers. And then this side, it's got my hole punch. So basically, this is like a wheel around shop. So no matter what machine I'm at, I can just take all my things with me. Or wheel it out of the way when I'm trying to vacuum. What I really need to do, though, is deal with the drawers down below, because they'll just get stuff jammed in them, which is not ideal. Alright, 3 3/4 stitch length for all vinyl-y things. So you can go up to a higher stitch length, but the higher the stitch length you go, the less strong it is. So if I was to stitch this in like a 5, which is the longest stitch length I've got, it's not as strong. So it's more likely to be able to be like pulled and gathered. Because 5 on this machine is actually how I do my gathering. And the way I gather, I don't alter my tension. I just use a long stitch length and then pull. So I always try to do, I never really go higher than a 4 stitch length on this machine. The other one, I do like a 6 because it doesn't look like a 6. I don't know. It lies about what mils it's doing, I think. Alright. I kind of wish sometimes this machine had speed control, but I got there. What is the fabric on my bag? So this is from Spotlight in Australia, and it's a Harry Potter fabric. So it's got the word Potter and the Harry Potter symbols, and it's non-directional, so they go upside down and stuff. And then this is a vinyl that was clearance at Spotlight, and it is called, we've decided we think it's crocodile or gator design. And then the inside I've just used like a mottled black. Hello, Noemi? I'm not sure. I'm really sorry. I'm bad at pronunciation of stuff. So I apologize if I ever get your name wrong. I promise I don't mean to. So I'm going to pin this side. I don't know if you were here at the start of the video. I didn't pin the other side, but I want this to line up. So I pin the second side to make sure it's going to line up straight and stuff. And I always pin one side and then just add the other side in, because I find that easier than trying to pin 3 pieces at once. So I do 2 and then just slot the other one in. Alrighty. We're nearly done. Kind of. I really love this thread. So normally with the old thread I was getting, if that would have happened where it come unthreaded, because that was my fault, but it comes unthreaded, the end would have frayed on the old thread. It doesn't do it on this one. It's amazing. I've never been so excited about something so simple as thread in my life. So I'm just creasing this with my finger as I go. And I'm going to put my zips on now and then seal the end of the zippers so that I don't have issues later, because I always have issues later. The zip never wants to be my friend fully. So if I do them now while everything's flat and open and easy. And I'm using 2 zippers on this. I know it's a little bag, but I really enjoy being able to do this with this style bag. So I just do 2 zippers. The other thing about doing it this way is that I don't have to remember which way is like left and right, so I don't really have to think, oh, I missed. I don't really have to think about which way my zipper's going, because there's 2, so it doesn't matter. And for some reason, I always find it easier to put a zipper on when I stand over the top of it. Hello, Sharon. Welcome. We're only halfway through. There's still plenty to watch, I promise. So I'm just going to seal the zipper on both ends, and then I don't have to worry about it. Okie dokie. Oh, I think the tanks have stopped too. I haven't heard any loud crashes lately. So the main thing I do with this bag is I line up the side accent panels, because that's the bit you're going to notice the most if you botch it. And we don't want to do that. And then I'm going to be super lazy and not even cut that. I'm just going to lift it over and do the other side. Because apparently that's who I am today. So you can just come back and snip it here. And I always start from vinyl end first, because it's higher. I watched my video opening your thread. I'm still so excited. I'm not gonna lie, it was only like half an hour ago. The weird things make me happy. But anyway, back to what I'm doing. Sorry, I got sidetracked by thread again. Huh. Right, so I always start from the thickest end and go down to the thinner stuff. So this end that I'm doing now has got the foam, not the foam, the vinyl on both sides. So there's like a lot of thickness here. So I'm going to start here and work my way down, because if I went the other way, there's a good chance that one of them would try and shift and then they wouldn't be even. So if I'm starting on an even playing field, they're not going to be able to slide. So yeah, heavy to soft. And then over to the other side, back stitch. Alrighty. I'm going to grab my base. And I haven't, you know what, I need to do all the clipping. I haven't clipped this. So I fold it in half and then in half again. And then it's quicker to clip. And I don't use my scissors, my little clipper scissors anymore, because I don't know, it's probably a month ago, I chopped it in a video. I chopped like my finger here, and it took a really long time to heal because it's on your finger. It was not ideal, so I won't be doing that again. So I will never use those to clip this ever again, because it hurt. Alright, so I'm going to find the middle of everywhere so that I can just line up those points. Because when I'm not in a tutorial, I tend to not clip things and pin things as much. I do it the right way in a tutorial, but I can actually do it without it, but that's not teaching you anything. So I still clip and pin. And I'm not going to put the bottom of this on all the way. I'm just going to literally do the straight bit and then leave it so I can turn the bag through here. And it's way, way quicker. So I literally only sewed straight to straight. As soon as it started to curve, I stopped, because I'll do it later. This one I am going to pin though, because vinyl moves. Make sure your zips are open before you sew this in too. So I'm just going to meet seam to seam and then trim. So these scissors were $4 from Bunnings for anybody that lives in Australia. They are in the gardening aisle. They're designed to chop off like branches to do cuttings. They're cutting like tree cutting scissors. They are awesome. They are extra awesome for $4. Alright, so I've slotted it in, and then I'm just going to join on my marks and clip it. Now, because I'm on this machine, I will be putting the clips towards the base piece. And I'm going to put a lot, because it's going to try and shift a lot. If I wasn't doing a live video, I would probably put the clips the other way and then sew it on that machine. But you won't be able to see from there. And I don't have anywhere there for it to lean on to show you. So we won't do that. Although I should do another tutorial for you guys on that machine and make a bag. So I'm going to put 2 clips at the end that's holding my connector, because when I take one off, I don't want it to shift. So when I try and start sewing it. So if I put 2 on, it's going to sit better. Oh, I also might be getting a 3D printer. So if I get a 3D printer, I'll be doing a lot of these. Does the other machine have a free arm? It does. So it's a cylinder machine. So I can actually, I don't know if you can see, but there is nothing around any of there. Uh-oh. Oh, there it is. My connector on the end fell off. It's a classy video, this is. Look at me go. Yeah, so that's a cylinder machine. It's also a binding machine. So Where would you see binding? So on horse blankets, that's what it's mainly for. The edging on horse blankets is just folded over webbing tape, I guess. So that you can get different size connectors and it will sew it on and in. So it's got like a little piece that you just swing in, feed the stuff through, and it will sew the binding. So I will actually be doing a tutorial on how that works because I have got the Sincerely Jen banana hammock pattern, and on the inside it calls for binding around all the edges. So I'm going to use that machine to show you how cool it is, basically. Because it is pretty cool. But yeah, it will fold it over and stitch both sides at the same time, creating the edge. Okay, lots of pins, or clips, pins, clips, whatever. I call them both. And I always start on a straight with this because I find it easier. And always treat this like a 3D item. So always make sure that it's trying to sit up and push it round. Don't squish it down flat like this. You'll get little kind of lumps and bits on the curves, which is not what you want. I'm sorry you can't see. It's literally blocking it. And I just missed whatever that comment was. I'm really sorry. I had my head down. And I just broke my thread. That was not ideal. So the reason that just broke is because it didn't like going over the strap connector joiny bit. So here, where all the bulk is, it just broke the thread while trying to sew that. So I will come back and go over that at the end. And I'll start on it. So sometimes it breaks because you're trying to go up. Here we go. Message retracted. I don't know what that means. Why are the messages retracted? Alright, so I'm up to the next strap connector. So again, it might have a bit of a moment on me. With bulkier stuff, just go slower. Sometimes if you go slower, it's usually fine. It just doesn't like going at full speed. Aha! See, that side was fine. So now, I'm just going to go back to this strap connector and go over it once or twice more. Because it did have its little moment, and I don't want it to break later. It's not ideal. So I'm just going to come out, and then I'm going to come back over and go over it again, just a little bit back from the seam allowance to give it an extra push, really. So I can show you what that looks like. So, I went back over and did it, and then I just went back, like, I don't know, 1/4 of an inch, and then just did another line. That's like an extra hold there, so I'm going to do the same to the other end as well, because that's going to be a stress point. And I don't want the bag to break on the person that ends up buying it. So again, I'm going to back stitch it, and then I'm just going to go slowly over that again. And then I'm going to come off the other side before I back stitch, because if you back stitch in the bulk, especially on a domestic machine, you will snap your needle. Or if you back stitch too fast, you will snap your needle. I have done both of those things, none of which are ideal. Alright, so now we can turn the bag out. So I'm just going to grab it like a puppet. And the reason I say grab it like a puppet is because you've got a proper grip on it then, and it'll turn through easier. See? Beautiful. And then I'm going to push push with my finger that entire seam to make sure that it's sticking all the way out. And that way it's also going to sit nice and flat. See? Beautiful. Alright, hand in, grab both sides of your lining and pull it through the hole. And then we're just going to sew it down. Now, in a normal tutorial, if you get a 3D printer that I'm putting my order in now, I am getting one. So there's a lady that is part of the American army that stays here, and they bought one. So I have said that I will buy it off them when they move. So they're moving at the end of the year. So it's a thing. Husband doesn't know it's 100% thing, but it's a thing. So in a video, I would pin this, but because I've clipped the 4 points, I'm actually just going to line up the points and not clip it. So I'm just going to bring the two together. And I just ran out of bobbin thread. Oh, that sucks. I was so close. Okay. So again, I'm still not going to undo my machine. I'm just going to snip it, and I'm going to pull it out of the mechanisms that move so it doesn't get knotted. Lift my foot up, and then just wind another one. I always hold the thread until it breaks from over winding, because that means it's going to stay held well. I also never wind my bobbins 100% full. That might sound silly, but every time I make them super full, they always have bobbin issues. So like in the case, they always start sewing and they get like a big loop. So I never fill them 100%, and if I do that, I never have an issue. And then I end up wasting a whole bunch of thread because I have to pull it off anyway. So, not pull. The machine is, well, half threaded. Ooh, and my snips are dead. I can't wait to get more snips. I really can't. They are very, very blunt. Alright. So I haven't got far to go. I just got to stitch this up, and then we're going to make some handles. So I'm just going to make sure I go back over a little bit of the old stitching. And I'm going to keep turning this bag as I go, so that I'm not trying to fight it while I'm also lining up the lining piece. Chop off all the threads, of which apparently there are many. So there we go. Tuck it in. And then stitch up my pocket piece, which I do the same in all my videos. And this is the same size pocket as all my videos too, because I've got the template. If you don't leave the bottom of your bag open like I just did to turn it, the only one I would probably do a bigger pocket on if you want to turn it through the pocket is the Everyday Tote, because that is a monster bag and it just doesn't fit through the 8-inch pocket. It just doesn't. Alright, pocket in. Zipped up. Then I'm just going to push out these bits because we didn't care up until now. And because I zigzagged back and forth over them, they didn't fall off while I was stitching, which is super handy. Chop off that. I'm going to melt that as well. Chop off the thread, maybe, if they won't blunt. See, that's another reason why I melt my threads, people, because my snips are blunt. So even if I get a good cut, it still kind of frays a little bit. It looks daggy. Alright. Rivets. Rivet press. End caps. So, because I put these on, I have remembered that they exist, which is awesome. So now I'm just going to fold where this line is. I want it to be in line with the center of the zip. And that's about all I really care about there. So then I just want to also make sure it's going to cover the zip, the end, like that. And now I'm just going to rivet it. I'm also making sure that the top and bottom folds are lined up as well. And then I'm just going to punch some holes. Now I only twist mine because it's blunt. I don't know why it died, but it's probably just old. I think it's 2 years old. It's had a pretty good life. And I'm not going to press that, but I've just put the rivet in to hold it in place while I punch the rest of the holes. And then I'm also going to do one down the end here to hold the 1-inch clip where I want it to stay. So each side gets 3. I also think it looks neat with 3. And then I can squish them all, because I have to stand up to squish them because I don't have the body strength to sit down and do it. So there we go. And then that'll just clip down there. Alright, other side. That was a pattern piece that fell on the floor for anybody that saw that. Alright, so I'm going to pull it out. Make sure that the zip and the seam are lined up. And this is where you want to try and get it the same as the other end. There we go. Oh, alright. I think it's time for new ones. Next time I go near a Bunnings, I'm getting a new pair of these. They're not expensive. I just live an hour from a Bunnings. That's all. Oh, and these are 9x9mm rivets too, for those that are curious. You can get like a million different sizes. So if you're new to bag making, 9x9 is what I would suggest. It will fit everything and they look nice. If you get them too small, they might fall through the hole. If you don't get the post long enough, you won't be able to get them on. So 9x9. I used to get 9x8. I now get 9x9. I learnt my lesson. Sweet. Alright, so now we just need straps. The bag part's done. And I'm doing something similar to what I always do, but it is just a little bit different. So normally I'll get 2 inches, fold it in half, and then put a piece of fabric on the top. But today, instead, I'm going to put a different color vinyl strap down the top because I don't have any more of that fabric. And this is going to look cool. So I marked it before, but again, I forgot to cut it out because I was too excited to just do the live. That's right, it won't take long to cut. So then I'm just going to cut this in half. So these strips are going to be 3/4 by 20 inches. And the other piece is 2 inches by 20 inches. So I'm doing 20-inch straps today instead of 24 like I normally do. Because the bag's little and I feel like it just needs a little strap. So I'm doing black, so it's going to complement the bag. And then the big piece on the bottom is going to be the crocodile skin look thing. Oh, there's my pen. I'm a little bit concerned I'm going to run out of tape to make these, but we'll see. I don't know if you guys can hear it, but there's a crow outside my window talking. Whoops. Oh, and that's it for the double-sided tape. That is not ideal. I swear I had another one. If not, I'll show you how to do it without double-sided tape. Alright. Without tape, it requires a lot of clips. It's the same principle, except instead of taping it, we're going to have to clip it. So I'm just going to fold it to the center line and clip the whole way down. So again, not ideal. After this video, I will be going to town to get more tape because I'm not making all the bags like this. But I do kind of want to finish this for you. Oh, you'll also notice I didn't do the shoulder strap connector on the Brooklyn. I did one for lady and the rivet pulled all the way through the bag and so it come off. And then I had a mate that also does sewing and she had the same problem and asked me how to combat it. So the way I'm going to combat it is I'm going to attach the shoulder strap to these strap connectors. Oh, I'm going to have to unpick the bag. I just realized I only put rivets on one side. So this side's got rivets and this side doesn't. So I'm going to have to unpick that and fix it. Whoops. All right, so we're just going to go, and what I'm going to do on this side is I'm going to like ladder the clips. So I don't want them in line with each other. I'm actually going to like offset them so that they're easier to pull out. If you don't have double-sided tape, or if you're worried that it's not going to go through your machine well, you can get around it. It just takes more time. That's all. And you require a lot of clips. All right, so now she's clipped. She's heavy, but she's clipped. Good. Okie dokie. So I'm going to sit this in the middle of the strap. Hello, Vicky. And yes, the bobbin thing is definitely a thing. So just never fully fill them. Solves all your problems. All right, so I'm going to start on the short end. I'm going to do 3 stitches and then go back into the first hole. Put my clip bin beside me because I'm going to have to take them off as I'm sewing. So it does longer, but it's not impossible to do. I have to keep checking the screen in case you guys write something, because it doesn't give me a lot of time to see it, unfortunately. Clean up your clips as you go. Alright, apparently I cut these wrong length, but that's okay. It also could have stretched a little bit. So this side is always quicker. If you do a slow, steady pace, you can generally pull the clips off as you go. Good, snips there. Alright, so I got this little bit of extra, so you can just chop that off because it's vinyl. If that was fabric, you just tuck it under. So there you go, one strap. So now I'm going to mark my strap markings to put the rivets in. Oh, it's not my day. I keep dropping everything today. Alright, so I'm going to mark 1/2 inch up and then 1 inch from that mark, and that will be where my holes go. 1/2 inch and then 1 inch. This will also help my very blunt thing get through everything. So I'm going to go up the bottom, bend it over. Stab my rivets through. Cap on. Oh, this is heavy. Untwisted through the other one. Now this is going to be slightly painful, but I'm actually going to have to unpick it to put the other rivets in because I don't want it to go through the thing. You're so late to the show. That's okay. I promise I'm going to do more lives. I've technically only done 1/2 a bag anyway because the other 1/2 I still have to fix. Luckily for me, the side that I've put the pocket on is the side that's missing the rivets. So that's going to make this a lot easier. So I'm just going to chop out the lining, pocket lining stitch. Sometimes it'll pull out and sometimes you're going to have to snip the whole lot. So I'm just going to snip some threads and then pull it open, and that tends to help. I don't use a quick unpick at all in any, I don't actually own one. Because I find the few times I've used it, I have wrecked whatever I was making because I stabbed through the fabric. So I have made the decision to never use a quick unpick again. And I'm pretty okay with that decision. I just use these instead. And it's probably just me and my patience, or lack thereof. I'm aware of that. I'm okay with it. Alright, so now I can get into the bag. I'm going to have to shove this in, making sure it's got no lining, under and through. There's one. No issue is impossible to fix. I did not do this deliberately. I was just too busy talking. Probably about thread. You just want to make sure that the lining is not in your way, because you don't want to stab a random hole through your lining. Alright. 1, 2, see, we can fix anything. And if you're worried about the crinkles in the bag, you can always iron it. You just make sure you put a cloth over it and try and avoid the vinyl areas. See? Just like I bought one. You can't even tell. Before you stitch this back up too, you want to pull out all the threads you just snipped, because you don't want them sticking out. That's not ideal. Then I'm just going to stitch the pocket back up again. On a 2.5 stitch length. I know I switch between stitch lengths a lot. To be honest, it doesn't bother me. There we go. Alright, one more handle and then we are done. I am going to use the little bit of double-sided tape I have remaining, because it will just speed up the process a little bit. I swear I thought I had more. On the other hand, my child does love tape. He loves all forms of sticky tape at the moment. So there is a good chance that he has taken it and is playing with it somewhere. Alright, half stuck, half clipped. Why not? Why not? It's not ideal, but it's cool. For those that don't like using double-sided tape in their machine as well, you can get basting glue sticks, which are designed for quilters. And I imagine that they would work just as well. Next time I see one, I will buy one and do a demo. See if it works. See if it's going to do what I think it will. But it's basically stitchable glue, so I don't see why it wouldn't. Certain, will you let us know when your next live is going to be? Of course I can. You know what? I will give you guys like a day's notice next time. I just randomly decided to do this. And I do tell people in my sewing group, my Facebook group. So if you're not in there, that's possibly why you didn't know. I gave you guys a little bit of notice. Not a lot, but a little bit. But I'll work on giving you guys more so that you can come. But yeah, go join my group. I'll put a link to the description when we're finished. Because that's where like everything gets posted for me. Sometimes I go in the Sew Whatever group, but it's her group. So sometimes I do and sometimes I don't. Otherwise I'd be posting in there constantly. Because there's at least one post a day in the other one. Alright, so I'm going to start with the no clip end because it's just going to be easier. So the next lot of bags I have to make is basically just a lot of Brooklyns. So I won't do another live this week because I'm literally just making these. Hello from Western Australia. Elmer's glue. There you go. Knew there'd be a solution. I get to a certain amount of clips and then they get in my way, so I have to switch them out. Sweet. See, second side's always quicker. It's because it's already in place for you. Alright. This is curling a bit. I don't like that. I curl in the opposite direction and then pull. Oh, see? All better. So there you go. If it's ever curling on you, it's because something's been pulled, which for me was probably the black. So you just twist it in the opposite direction and pull it a little bit, and it straightens itself out. Kind of cool. Well, for the most part. It's still got a little bit of a twist. There you go. So 1/2 inch up, 1 inch from that mark. If you're using thicker hardware, do 1 1/4 inch up. Otherwise, it won't make it all the way around. But I always do it 1 inch, 1/2 inch from the end. So then if you use those end cap cool things, they'll still go on and look nice. Hole punch. Rivets. And bag. So I always go up the bottom with the right side facing the bag, which for me is the black overlay, I guess you'd call it. Out, twist, in. Oh, I kind of want to keep this bag. I know I can't, but it's cool. Maybe I will make myself one of these. Alrighty, there we go, one bag. I will be making a shoulder strap for this, but it will be made in the same way, and I have not yet cut it out. So you don't get to see that bit. But that's super cute. If you guys make Brooklyns, come show me, because I love to see what like color combos and stuff you guys do, because my brain can only come up with so many ideas. But yeah, thank you for joining me. I will see you guys all next video, which I don't know when that is, so please don't hold me to anything. I will try and do another little quick video tomorrow. I've cut out the wraparound wallet by Sonar, I believe, but I've hacked it, so it's got a zipper pocket. So I will probably do that video tomorrow for you. Alrighty? Bye guys!